For pushing, and also a lot of money attached to those settlements.
For sure. So we have over 100 banks working with Ripple today around the world. I think the vast majority of banks, like 99.9% of banks, actually are paying other banks, the kind of the global money center banks like JP Morgan or Citibank, to make those settlements. So a lot of the banks are very excited about democratizing how these global payments flow.
What's up, guys? Kevin Cage here with another cryptocurrency update. Be sure to like and sub, and let's kick it off. So we have this clip of Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, discussing blockchain on CNBC. This is shared by JV XRP, so thank you, man. This is a great clip. And what's also important to note is Brad Garlinghouse says, we are democratizing payments. And keep in mind, this is a quote from Ashish Birla, GM of RippleNet. He said that 80% of all cross-border payments have to go through essentially three big mega banks. These three big mega banks include JP Morgan, so think JP Morgan Chase, we have HSBC, and Citibank. So meaning that mom and pop shops or even other small and medium financial institutions have to go through these three bullies in order to send their payments across borders. So the model of transaction banking allows these three banks, JP Morgan, Citi, HSBC, and maybe a few more, to make bank, no pun intended. So of course, JP Morgan hates Ripple, hates the XRP ledger, because this would legitimately level the playing field and be a threat. Also, on another note, I know some people say, oh, we're waiting for institutions. Yes and no, because institutions have already been in this space. What we're waiting for is regulatory clarity. We're waiting for institutions to come in at scale and actually have these digital assets and these networks provide utility. That is what we're waiting for, utility at scale and clarity. There are very few crypto assets today in the 18,000 that exist. Many of them are scams. Many will go to zero. My bet is looking for, the top 10, the top 50 assets that will be here in 3 to 5 years. Because guess what? This crypto market will continue to grow, just growing in tandem like the internet curve. We went from 50 billion all the way to $3 trillion in market cap for the entire crypto space. Bitcoin hit a $1 trillion market cap. I believe Ethereum will, and I believe that many other altcoins have the potential to reach multiple trillion-dollar market caps. The entire cryptocurrency space today is still smaller than some of the biggest companies in the world. And this is an asset class, so we have tremendous upside year over year. And also at JP Morgan, I would say that they are fully behind Ethereum. If we go back in time and look at a lot of the relationships via politics, and keep in mind, I love Ethereum. I love what it's done for DeFi. I love what it's done for this space. In my opinion, I think Ethereum is better than Bitcoin in every single way, and it should be that store of value and, of course, the foundation of DeFi. We saw a lot of venture capitalists make a killing in Bitcoin early on. Funny enough, they were the same ones that were able to milk it for every dollar, take that money, and then, of course, get into Ethereum early. We have Mike Novogratz of Galaxy Digital, another billionaire who admits to be in Ethereum at pennies and then even several dollars. Of course, it's in their best interest to talk about these assets. XRP was in existence before Ethereum. And why do you think that Jay Clayton, the former SEC chair, his last day in office, decides to put this lawsuit together? Okay, well, his connections to One River, then he joins Fireblocks, all these institutions that back Ethereum infrastructure every single way. And then you find out that SEC officials were actually trading volatility with inside knowledge of XRP in the lawsuit. This is as corrupt as it gets. I would hope that our officials actually do have some type of moral compass and ethics, but we can't rely on that. Okay, next up, so shared by Coining203, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, on Fox Business, and it's actually quoted by Gary Gensler, the SEC chairman, to say, we will be losing some cases, and I'm curious which crypto cases he could be referring to. Next up, speaking of JP Morgan, I've seen, dozens of articles of them saying Bitcoin's going to zero. Funny enough, that is actually right before the bull run to get everybody's sentiment low. And what do you know? Now they're saying Bitcoin's going to reach $150,000. NFTs will dominate digital assets. The metaverse is a $1 trillion market opportunity. And keep in mind, the metaverse is going to affect every vertical in terms of advertisements. Just like when we play on the Oculus and the VR headset today, they're mapping the eye movements just like Oculus is doing when you sign the terms or when you agree to the terms and conditions. And there's going to be gaming, there's going to be in-game items, there's going to be new economies altogether within the metaverse. You've seen these concerts, you've seen royalties. It's really just going to be a whole new vertical that a lot of us never really considered until maybe the last couple of years. And then, of course, staking could be a $40 billion industry by 2025. Crazy. And then of course you see what Quant is doing with all these funds and developments to essentially make it easier to bring more developers into the crypto space. The more developers there are, the more builders there are, the more onboarding tools there are, the bigger and faster this space will be adopted. Friendly reminder, we have iTrustCapital down below. This is a crypto retirement account that is completely free. There are no monthly fees to use. I've been using them for almost 2 years now. And keep in mind, since I leverage a Roth IRA, I pay 0% in taxes. All trading within this account is entirely tax-free. So that doesn't sound too bad. Considering it's free, I at the very least recommend creating an account so you're good to go in the future. The mobile application is on the way. It's essentially the same type of fee structure as Coinbase with 24/7 trading. When you buy and sell an asset, it is settled within a matter of seconds, just like any other exchange, except this is with your retirement account and these assets are secured in cold storage. Very cool to see. And of course, this link is in the top of the video description. So if you decide to create an account, which I recommend doing, you'll also be getting $100 in Bitcoin after funding. You can see Coinbase custody in tandem with Fireblocks, one of the biggest names in the game, SOC 2 certified, FDIC insured, etc. So no offense to anybody in the stock market and index funds getting 10, 20, 30% in a year, but I believe over this next decade, when in doubt, zoom out, that my crypto bag, even a basic blanket strategy, is going to outperform my stocks on every single level. And for everybody that already knows this, since I first started investing into crypto with my individual retirement account or my Roth IRA, I am still up well over 5x. That's over a 400% return. Now, following even the 72 rule, of course, how long does it take for you to double your money? Well, in the stock market, let's just say that you're, lucky to get a 20% year. So let's do 72, okay, right here. 72 divided by the rate of return of 20%. And that would still take you approximately 3.6 years, almost 4 years to double your money. And let's show a quick example of that. So really quick with the calculator, let's just say that you had $10,000. Now keep in mind, for my example, I am still up over 5x with my individual retirement account. I just ran laps around, of course, what the stock market could do, but it's very asymmetric. The risk to reward is crazy. So I do not recommend anybody just throwing your life savings into crypto. It's not worth it. It's too risky. Please be safe. It's just not worth that toll on your mental health of that level of stress. But let's just take this 10K and multiply it by 20% years each and every time to compound it. Again, compounding is the magic. So 10K times 1.2, so it's initial plus the 20%. Let's see how many years it takes to double it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and then a little less than 4 years, so of course 3.6. I just wanted to show you, and I'm not saying go all in on any market. I am very heavy into crypto. That is not financial advice. But having some of your net worth in asymmetric potential like crypto, which I believe is here to stay, as I've just shown you what some of the biggest custodians are doing for crypto in the previous video, I personally am having some exposure in this asset class and Web3. So for any young people out there starting your investment journey of financial literacy, remember the 72 rule. It's super powerful. It's actually a really complex equation that I can't do in my head. So you can just typically take this number 72 divided by the rate of return or the percent, and then you get a number, and that's essentially how long it takes for you to double your money, hypothetically. And remember, wealth is all about doubles. It's a doubles game. Also, Casper and Algorand. So notice I was doing some stalking on the GitHub. We can see that Casper, Atomic, and Algorand. So notice between Casper and the Algo blockchain, I always look at the GitHubs for a variety of projects. Keep an eye on these two layer 1 protocols for the long term. You can see ERC 1155. You can see all types of implementations for NFT developments as well, and open standards for interoperability. Now remember, Draper right here, this venture studio for blockchain startups. Huge congrats to them and their portfolio. Guess what? They're backing Casper Labs. And then minting the first NFT from space with the one and only Brooke Shields. Who else is backing Casper? Arrington, XRP Capital. And who is he backing? Well, he also backs Algo, XRP, Polkadot, all the big players. Oh, and Terra Luna. So keep an eye on assets that are building regardless of price. We can see another partnership with the Arcadia Group to build the first cross-chain bridge on Casper. Now also, this reminds me of a quote by Mr. Isaac Newton. We build too many walls and not enough bridges. Which assets have the highest level of adoption? Which assets have performed the best? Those that can connect with other blockchain networks and have bridges. Next up, shared by Crypto Eddie, SBI announced today digital asset banking services with Signum. Now, when I hear Signum, what do I think of? Switzerland. I think of Zurich. I think of XRP. I think of Polkadot. I think of Alliance Block, and I think of Casper. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP are the assets offered for institutional investors, custody, brokerage, credit, tokenization services, and more. And then she also shares right here R3 and a central bank digital currency project in China on page 60. So the link is right there. Highly recommend checking this out. And you can see XRP listed. We also have API 3 right here. So a question, does that mean that your partners, API 3 partners, could monetize their data from their API? Yes, that's why this is potentially so huge. This means, in quotes from API 3, that they can easily serve data from their API, their application programming interface, to their Web3 customers via Airnode, and thus charge for that. And I highly recommend catching some of the recent community calls for API 3 and learning more about beacons. If you're wondering what a top Oracle project looks like in terms of professionalism, in terms of real code, being one of the top 10 most active GitHubs in the entire crypto space, look no further. This is API 3. Highly recommend doing your own research. And of course, if I talk about an asset, yes, I believe in it long term, but I want you to look for a good entry as well. Do I believe that API 3 can reach double, potentially triple digits, just like we saw QNT when it was $3 to $5? Yes, I do, but nothing is guaranteed, so please read about this. I believe that API 3 will be a contender for Web 3, aka API 3, its APIs for Web 3.0. You also have Bank of America saying, we see no crypto winter given the growth in user adoption and developer activity. Very interesting. And also, remember, we have over $1 billion, 1.3 that has come in from venture capitalists for the crypto space. I just want to remind you, VCs are not risking their money for 50% returns. They're risking their money for 1,000% plus returns. They want a 10x, they want a 100x their investment by investing into crypto infrastructure. That's where a lot of this money is gone. Now, I know that some pre-sales and cryptos can be highly risky, but guess what's a sure thing and a lot safer for these venture capitalists? To invest into the infrastructure, the websites, the companies that are providing all of this bridging. That is a sure bet. And that's where a lot of these guys have made their wealth. And believe it or not, Anthony Pompliano, and I like the guy, I have nothing against him, but he has definitely made a bigger killing by investing into crypto companies and the infrastructure rather than Bitcoin itself. BTC can be that store of value, but I know he has admitted that he's made more money, or at least invest heavier into infrastructure. That's the play. And remember guys, if you have an hour per day to watch TV, you also have an hour to research crypto and learn about finance, and you can find clever ways to combine it all. And also, if you are new to the XRP community, one person I recommend you following is Roth. He provides such level-headed research and sources, always sourced. He's not over-speculating, he's not hype. And just looking at this information, it is always great to see that Ripple partners are continuing to grow. Now notice, it seems there's an unannounced Ripple partner, Teledollar, that has extended its partnership with Ripple partner RIA, R-I-A, based in Costa Rica, and they're also connected to Ripple users Neum and Thunes. Now Marcus Treacher right here, this gentleman had a background at Swift, I believe also HSBC as a high-level executive. Watch the podcast of Marcus Treacher, and if you're ever worried about the future of XRP, I think his knowledge, information, and connections will reassure you massively. So he also confirmed in this tweet that Teledollar uses Ripple in this tweet. We have all kinds of links and sources below. All in all, Roth is a must follow. Also guys, keep an eye on API 3. This is a symmetrical triangle right here. Now this is actually from a couple weeks ago, but I just want to share. This is API 3 versus the Bitcoin price chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have multiple points of touching. And I just wanted to share that API 3 created an all-time high price versus Bitcoin. Just wanted to show you that assets are always rotating. This is a market. It is always fluctuating, always seeking equilibrium. There's going to be some assets creating all-time highs, and there's going to be some assets creating all-time lows. And the thing is, they all take turns, so be patient. And also, we have shared by Binance CEO that Binance, the exchange, has partnered with 2 of the largest Korean entertainment companies. Adoption's coming. If you're a fan of K-pop, check this out right here. This partnership is with SM Brand Marketing, the leading entertainment company of South Korea. And good news is that we have GeoJam, which is also backed by Mariah Carey. They have actually been included on Fast Company's top 10 most innovative music companies of 2022. Now, GeoJam's actually a real company. It's been in existence for quite some time, and they are building blockchain applications to be used with their native asset, Jam. So I'm excited for them to launch. You can see it on CoinMarketCap. Make sure it is GeoJam, not some other jam. You can see that KuCoin is also an investor in this token, and remember, they are on the latest launchpad of DAG, of the Constellation ecosystem. So, call me crazy, but I believe in the future, since KuCoin invested into GeoJam, that we could assume that GeoJam or Jam will be listed on KuCoin. But alright guys, that is enough out of me. Remember, all links can be found in the video description, and be sure to tune in to the next video.